You want to have your drink?
I mean, occasionally I gotta make sure I stay hydrated.
You can't drink that because then somebody will know that it's trademark and we don't have permission.
You want to blur it out? Oh, okay.
No, because I don't know how to blur nothing out. You look, I'm like really antiquated.
Next time I just make sure I put it in a plastic bag or brown bag. Let's do that.
You gonna put it in a brown bag?
Like how they used to do in the old days. No,
so,
yes.
This is one of my students. His name is Josh. But actually, my former students. His name is Josh, and he had me as a teacher. What was that like?
Pretty much like having a mom, right? I mean, she made sure you did your homework. And she doesn't have to do that. Teachers don't have to do that. They can just grade it. But yeah, she made sure you did your homework, came to school on time, and then also showed you around to get you more acclimated with the city and how to be a human. Apparent to like how most teachers, no offense, they kind of keep in the classroom, don't want to show you but just the textbook. So yeah, no, she definitely gave us a more open-minded experience that was more motivational and engaging than I could say any teacher has, personally.
So, what did you learn that you feel was a life lesson out of my class?
Learning to speak to people. So the number one thing that I can always remember back when we did FCCLA and we had to practice over the phone for like hours out of multiple days was you can hear someone smile through the phone. So if you can determine what somebody's emotions will be through a phone, imagine how good you'll be when you're to talk to them in person.
And do you feel like, so what was your first job?
She got me my first job. It was a joint agreement upon my mother and Ms. Massey, but they knew that according to her, I had a silver tongue, so I could speak to someone, make them feel welcome, and also kind of be that counselor to a certain extent. But no, it was at the Intercontinental Suites Hotel. But it was a really, really great job. Allowed me to really not only diversify myself, engage with people, and then understand empathy and sympathy. There's a big difference. But yeah, that was my first job. I would thank you again for that. So.
Well, don't thank me because you had the one.
You introduced me.
Yeah, but you had to be the one that show up. But I think one of the things that really speaks proof to what you learned and what you were exposed to is, do you remember what happened your first year after being?
Go ahead and refresh my memory because it definitely was such a cascade bit. I know for a fact that just.
You don't remember what happened after you were honored?
Mm-mm.
You don't remember that part of your life?
I mean, I remember part of it. I mean, as far as it goes, like the multiple awards I got, just the competitions. But if you're talking about a specific one,
I'm talking about when you left after you graduated from high school and you were working at IHG. You went in for this.
Oh, you're talking about when they had basically honored me for being a success at IHG or something like that?
No, I'm talking about when they put your name in the hat for being like getting the highest hospitality award in the county.
I honestly don't remember that. Wow. That kind of explains a little, I mean, of how I am as a person. But yeah, no, I don't remember that part. Wow.
Yeah, you were.
You
lost, but it was the fact that this was your first year out of high school and you were honored.
Oh, yes. At the hotel. Yeah, so I'm sorry.
It's all the hotels in our area, so in the Cleveland area.
I was thinking of when I was
you were
in
like
school,
the youngest.
Out of school. Yeah, so I do remember that. So it was a vote or kind of like a, what would you call that? Nomination. So it was nominees from multiple different hotels. And so since I was being not just a gentleman, but also, showing just a level of hospitality that was beyond the natural metric, they put me into that that award. It was really nice. It was really nice. Now, again, I had to think about it for a second, but that was quite an experience, yeah. I'll never forget going down. We were at the Renaissance Hotel, and I'm sorry, Ritz-Carlton. Kind of close, but Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, they are close
and
to each other.
When it came
is
down
it still
to
called the Renaissance though? Because they changed. Remember, they changed owners.
Yeah, well, it's now not only is it the Renaissance, but it's also they're
It's
they're
an
renting out
autograph.
housing and stuff like that. They have apartments in there now for like the actual like Tower City area.
So it's not. It's not a.
It's also a hotel. One section's hotel and one section's apartments. If I'm correct, because it's all in that one giant building.
There are apartments down there, but I thought that the hotel.
It was separate.
Yeah, I'll have to
we'll
look that
it
up.
up.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Because I mean, I thought about it and I was like,
Oh
I asked
yeah,
somebody,
that's
is this
because I'm
what saying?
sleepy. I'm really sleepy. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, so this will be
Listen,
taken
I
out.
feel that I've been up since 7, so and I went to sleep at like 3. So yeah, I got to work today at 6 to 6, so 6 p to 6 a.
Oh, where are you working at now?
So yeah, after achieving my goal of becoming an assistant front office manager at the Intercontinental, I pursued on to working with, I would say you can say it's a contracted company. Originally was Stein, now it's TMS, but it's contracted for Cleveland Cliffs, so we're working at a steel mill. My title, it's a foreman and a safety supervisor now. Currently in learning, obviously that's a really lot. It's a lot. But no, it's great development, not only for your character, but just for your mental, for just going about developing a better path. Like I think definitely starting off in the most professional environment possible, which is a hotel, seeing how to mirror people, and then actually moving forward to now not only mirroring but leading people. It's now pushed me into more of a safety orientated, well organized construction, which is a passion of mine. So I think that's really what I'm gearing towards my life.
Do you feel that was the best choice for you, and where you're at in life now to leave?
I do.
The organization?
I do. Okay. I mean, initially, I will always have those skills. Skills, they stay with you for life. It's all about the muscle memory. So reactivation. So currently, I mean, I did 30 days of no social media and no gaming, right? Just start gaming again, getting a feel for it. So you just have to get reacclimated. But it was really just for me to connect with my family. You know, for me being a father of 2, Irish twins, I try to make sure that I prioritize them first. Something that I know for a fact that my mother, and my father, they've always given to me. But it's more like it's different when you have that reflection. It's more of a connection. I mean, it's weird. Different when as you're growing up. I want to kind of stray away from this person as my mom, but when you have a kid, you want to be as close to them as possible. So yes, I do believe for safety features, one, for construction, which is just overall helping them can be constructive with their future, and then being professional. I think that job was an opener for me. That allowed me to understand how I should speak, how I should move, how I should operate myself as an individual and just as a man.
Do you do you have any entrepreneurial things that you're doing on the side?
Absolutely.
Could you talk about one?
Yeah. So
just one of them.
Yeah. Currently, Chinash Cheesecakes is a company of mine. My fiance and I, we been in the works of developing. It's really been a long-winded process. Personally, you start a business, go slow. I mean, there's a lot you can do with a lot of like AI, induced businesses, but that's not as interactive, right? With the cheesecake, again, it's like being a hostess of any sort. You have to be there, and you have to make sure that you follow certain laws and regulations. So it's a lot that you have to educate yourself.
I actually have my food service manager license.
Oh, let's go!
I'm serve safe. I am.
Serve safe certified.
I really am.
No, yeah, my mother, she made sure, because again, with her doing the food truck, she's like, hey, you need to get yours. I'm like, all right.
Yep,
so,
I have my murder, and then I have a license through Ohio Department of Health.
Oh wow!
So I'll always have it.
Okay, go ahead then with your bad self.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, but in culinary, that was one of the things that they were trying to push the culinary students to get.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous during that test. I had the way they take the test. You have to have. I did it virtual, and they look at your. Yep, they're watching you while you take the test. I forgot.
I had to take it too.
And then they want to look at your whole environment.
Yeah, because you can't be cheating. So I did another thing, entrepreneurial wise. I actually learned about insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took the course for it. And actually I did pass. A lot of it I have to like re-educate myself about, but I wanted to learn it because, there's a lot of things that's happened within my life, that certain things I will disclose and certain things I won't disclose. But a lot of things I've experienced throughout this process that you have to know. Like a lot of people don't realize, succumbing to certain circumstances, such as the end of one's, and then you have to have things set up. You should want to prioritize, have money set to the side, and then, if it's more of a self, then that's you're canceled from that. Like they will literally not give you nothing. So I wanted to educate myself on as many things as possible. So I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So I know for me, I only had to get the manager's license because I needed a food license for one of my businesses. And I kept putting it off and kept putting it off and kept putting it off. And at a certain point, you can't put it off no more. You literally have to just jump through.
It's like you better do this or you can't do this.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
You want to do this, you can't do this.
And now after so long, somebody can, pull up papers. Yeah. Well, they can pull up papers to see, hey, you didn't do this. If you don't do this, we will shut you down.
I'm saying. Yeah, it's
and so to prevent from being shut down and somebody actually looking to see if I did it, I went ahead and took the test because I don't like, that's just my personality. I don't want people to be like, I found this on you and da-da-da-da-da. No, you ain't find nothing on me. I could have told you. I'm still that way. You know how I am. Like, I can tell you myself what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. That we don't have to be.
You don't got to worry about snitching. All right? I got the button right here.
Yeah, I got the button right here. Because anything that I do, I should be able to, be able to say, yeah, I did that. Yeah. Because I did it. If I did it. Like, if I didn't do it, I didn't do it.
Yeah, just tell me I'm wrong, and I'll fix it.
But let's talk about the Cheesecake Company. So, is it registered with the state?
So, currently, that's something that we are actually doing right now. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I hate when people do this. So, I'm going to tell everyone out there, I have a business background. My first business I founded in 2004. And I got my degree in business in 2002. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I actually didn't do the formation of my business. Yeah. I actually hired an attorney. I hired a business attorney and I had them do it. And the reason why I did that was because they bring a set of legal knowledge that I did not have. Yeah. Having a business degree, yes, I know the theory behind it, but I don't have the legal knowledge. I don't know the know-how. They don't teach you in business school how to set someone's business up. I know that there are a lot of people out there that say that they're business coaches. They'll set your LLC up. But if they're not an attorney, I don't recommend it. And the reason why I recommend an attorney first is because they'll give you everything you need to set up your business. They'll give you the legal documents that you need. And once you have that legal document, all you do is take the name and change it for the next business. Right. And the EIN is free. So because we're in Ohio.
I was about to say something about that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'll say EIN. So the first business I actually ever did start was a clothing line. And this was back when I was 18. So I was going to initially start that off and do that. Now it was funny. I never took it off the ground. Never did no more than part of that process because, like you said, attorney. It was a lot that I was trying to learn. Especially someone who's not going to school for it. So I was like, hey, I'm going to put this off to the side. And I still know it. Like, I'll never forget my aunt was like, how'd you get your EIN number before? And I'm like...
So that's another thing people don't know is that you can get an EIN number, but the issue is, even though you have the EIN number, the name may not be available in your state. Yep. And then that even goes deeper because I actually own trademarks now. Yeah. So I filed...
That's something that, again, like we're in the process of getting all that done.
So this is what I will say to you. I do have an eBook. It is. Oh, okay. It takes you through the process. But a lot of times when people start a business, they don't. And my previous guest, he talked about, can you make 10K in 30 days? He's like, yeah, if you got strategies. But people don't understand that strategies mean basically you have a plan. Yeah. You've sat down, you thought about, this is my plan. Yeah. This is how I'm going to execute. This is step A, this is step B, this is step C, all the way to Z. Yeah. So what I'm leading to saying is that you have to have a strategy in business. And the very first thing that I learned in business school that I highly recommend for anybody is that you have a business plan. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if you choose not to have a business plan, you have to register your company with the state first. And that's $99 in the state of Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. That's so yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't do that.
I know that now at this point.
Because now because you have the Cheesecake Company and you're dealing with food, if I eat your food and I get sick, I sue directly you. Instead of the entity.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't care where you got to get the $99 from, even if you have to borrow it from somebody.
No, yeah, that's not.
And they actually, but I'm just saying, I don't know your finances. I don't know if an emergency.
Oh yeah, no.
You understand what I'm saying? $99 not a problem, but the issue is, it's a lot of people who have businesses and they are sole proprietors. And they do not have their business registered with their state.
And that's something, again, my mother, she had made sure, this is that conversation. I kid you not, no more than like the last 48 hours. She was hounding me about it. Because, again, with me helping her and doing all these other things as far as goes to getting her food truck off the ground and helping her doing all this other stuff. She's like, listen, you got to get yourself in that position. Like, she knows what I'm doing as far as, like you're saying, business idea, or not just that, but business plan, having that all laid out.
But I would even go, it took me, so I'm going to be very honest with you. I started that company in 2004, and the attorney did everything. They gave me all the legal documents for the LLC. They registered the business with the state. They gave me my articles of incorporation, and they gave me my EIN number. And I just recently pulled out a copy of the EIN that they gave me to say, hey, we documented this. But part of me going to that attorney and paying him that money and and I think at the time, because I was working at Citi, they were called Citibank. No, I think they were called Citi. At the time, by me using them, I asked specific questions. If I ever lose these documents, can I contact your law firm and can they provide me with the documents? Yes. But I use my tax return.
Smart. That's honestly, again, I put half of mine to the side and use half to just pay up for everything else. But I know exactly what you mean.
I used my tax return at the time. And at that time, I had 2 children and a newborn child.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. Like two of my children, one was newborn. So with that, they gave me everything I needed. But that money was worth it because now I don't use an attorney to start a business. That's what I'm getting to.
I get what you're saying.
Now I pay the state directly. I log onto their website. I register my business. I know the name. I have all of that. I know how to go in, which I've always known how to go in and pick a name and see if somebody else has that name. And once I have the name, I don't move forward to then the next step, which is the EIN, which is free.
Right.
So in the book that I have, it goes through step by step, but it takes you really 30 days to do step 1 through 8 in my ebook. But then step 8 is the last step because that takes 30 days.
Right.
So now we have a total of 60 days. So in the last 2 months, you've probably done a lot of different things. I've done a lot of different things.
It's been a process, honestly. Like when you were saying it, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what do I gotta do? What's my next step? Because like you're saying, the process of it. And again, like
literally, there's a class.
I've been doing it a lot with just my.
No, but let me tell you this. There's a class on Monday. I can't go because I have another business I want to register.
Oh, I'm like, what?
Yeah, so there's a class on Monday in the county. It's offered by the Small Business Administration. How did I miss this? Because now I'm trying to position a product as
I'm going to take that down after we get done with this because.
Yeah, no, I can give you the information. It's no problem. You know, I always
with the housing part too, because we're about to buy a house next year.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah. Thank you.
You know what, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't say that on camera, but we can talk about that off camera because I would love to hear about that.
Yeah, because I was talking to the missus about it. So, like, again, I will say this critically for anybody: if you are having any struggles in multiple different areas, as far as it goes financially, business, just any questions you may have. I would say put it in the comments. All right. I want you to go ahead and show me this little. No, because I promise you.
I'm taking this out. Don't say no more. I'm taking this out.
No, you better not.
No, because when I put this online, I'm charging for my time.
And that's fine. Time is money. Absolutely.
But I'm not. I'm taking this out.
Why not? Why not have?
I'm taking this out.
Why not have a formal system where someone can?
Because I don't have no formal systems. Because that's the issue.
Well, I can help you out. That's what I'm learning with AI. And you're like,
he showed me his schedule. I was like, You don't have no time. He said the red is meetings. I said the red. Most of your life is.
Oh, the last guy.
Yeah.
I respect. Listen, that's how I'm trying to get at. I don't mind, but the fact is, if you dedicate your time, like again, like I told you, I've said it before. Like I have a book of quotes I'm in the process of making right now because I believe that certain things need to be said. It's like a book. I'm like, yo, dude, this is basically like life lessons that your parents already taught you, but at the same time, it's more critical because it's a book.
But people don't.
They don't read.
They don't read.
They don't read.
They don't get up and go to work.
They don't work
They
out.
don't have nothing.
They don't do nothing.
And that's what the guy, I was just watching that guy who goes around and he talks about, interviews millionaires.
Yeah.
And he's like, your health is wealth. If you don't take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
I'm like.
Absolutely. That's one of my quotes. It's similar to it.
And so the guy who just left, he was telling me, he's like, if I get over 185 pounds, I know I have to reevaluate what's going on. Am I not exercising? And I'm listening to all these multi-millionaires or millionaires, and they're talking about my health is important. It don't matter how much money I make if I'm dead.
One quote that I was going to say in particular that I really am fond of, that I actually recently came to like the critical understanding, and this is what life, this is what anything you do. People only care about you once you bring value to them. That is, at the end of the day, like, that doesn't matter what it is. If you come as a person and you're willing to work, they're going to pay you.
The people are, I'm telling you, they don't understand. I wish people understood the power of staying through adversity.
Absolutely.
With an employer. We are in an age where people leave companies. They leave this job. They leave that job. I know everybody wants to be their own boss. I know everybody wants to start their own business. But be realistic. How much money do you want to make in your business?
The first 10K, the first 10K that you reach as an individual, we're not talking about businessman or businesswoman. The first 10K that you make in your life is pivotal. I mean, yeah, the first 100K, but that you can actually save, like you save, that changes a whole lot. You don't have to worry about a lot of things. When I hit my first K, saying 10K, I'm just financials, but when I hit my first 10K, I realized, like, I don't have to worry about nothing. I can be more, well off. I don't have to, like, go and spend everything.
And I don't want somebody to say 10K, that ain't nothing. But to somebody, to be honest, I've been in a position where I could not save 10K.
Let's go like this.
And I was making $50,000 at the time.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I was making 43. I was making 21. Mm-hmm. And in Ohio, in Kentucky, I could not afford to save that money because of choices I made. Mm-hmm. I had kids before I was married. I was not married to my children's father. Mm-hmm. And that created a lot of pressure on me, which then I'm going to my parents. And thankfully, I had a family that was supportive, that, filled in the gap where their father did not. Yeah. But it was a lot. Yeah. Like, I understand a lot of the population because I was that population. Yeah. I've been on Medicaid. I've been on food stamps. Yeah. I've never gotten a welfare check because the one I did get, they made me pay back. So in my mind, yes.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
But I know, I tell everybody that. I'm probably the only person on America who tried to get a welfare check and they made me pay every last.
They didn't give this. Hey, no.
They took all it when I got my tax return. They took every last dime back. They sent it to the attorney general.
No.
Yes.
Hey, it was taxes on that too. Like, we don't need that. How much?
And it's interest. Like... It's interest. I'm the only person. No, I'm serious. I'm probably the only person who had to pay back their check that they got from ODJFS or from however you want to say it. But I've been in there before. But when you're going through a state of poverty, it is hard to focus, and it's hard to realize the people who are in your life and how important they are, and when to say thank you, when not to say thank you, when to know that somebody is helping you. I can look back on my life, honestly. I can tell you, every worker I had, social worker or worker, whoever they are, they always looked out for me. Mm. And I don't know if it was because I was in school, I was working. They could see I was really trying to make a difference for myself. I wasn't just sitting up, living up, not doing anything. And I'm not trying to knock nobody, but if you lazy, you lazy.
That's the thing.
You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna make no money.
Nothing
any
changes.
career,
Nothing changes. Yeah.
any career,
Yeah.
if you stay
Yeah.
with it, will get you 100K.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Any career. I'm talking about any career. I'm talking about the
She's not
guy
lying.
in the school
She's not
that
lying.
pick up the trash that your kids laughing at. He makes 100K if he been there 15 years.
Yeah.
The teacher that your kids won't respect, she make 100K.
Not
But
lying.
I'm telling you,
Not lying.
any career, the principal make 100K.
Especially if they there and they're dedicated.
It don't even matter with some of these careers. Being a custodian,
being there for that long. You're saying that time dedicated.
but some of the teachers I'm not even gonna lie. Some of them not dedicated.
They don't know. It's different from dedicated to your craft and caring about who
Oh
you
well,
work
yes.
With. It's entirely different. It's entirely different. Like
Showing up to work is dedication.
Yeah, that's dedication. That's saying I want to make sure if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody else. Flat out. Again, Ohio, only people. If you think about it, people only make what, 35,000 a year. The average
is low.
So
but that's nationally. They were saying when Kevin Samuels was alive, he was saying the average African American woman made 45K. The number may be off.
And then most people will never see 100,000 in a year unless you make if you have a good job or you making a lot of extra money off side hustles. I promise you. It's dedication.
I don't even believe in side hustles.
Right, I want to make this money. I got to make sure I set up my day this time and this time. With me having kids, literally, I'm going to tell you how it is. 6 to 6 is 3 days on, 3 days off, about to change. But regardless of that, I go to work from 6, get off at 6. Now, after that, I go home, take a shower, let my dog out, go to the gym. Get maybe an hour 30 minutes. Again, Miss starts at 8. Cool. So I come home, and I'll watch my kids up until she gets off. So that could be with her being part-time, right? That's up until 1 o'clock. After that, I get maybe a couple hours of sleep or maybe within there intermediately, right? Regardless of that, I'll then go out and I'll start doing Instacart, which that was what I was doing before.
I did shit.
And now I'm doing Uber because I just got everything set up for my vehicle. So now I'm about to start doing that. But again, it's just the bottom line. I'll make anywhere from like 100 or let's say maybe $25 a day, which is a quote. If you make $25 a day, that's $750 in a month. If you make $100 a day, that's $3,000 a month.
But I know for when I was coming up, that's why I tell people this. There were no Ubers and Lyfts and
no, you had to walk or bike or take the bus.
Well, no, when I say this, I mean butler. So in essence, a Lyft is a butler.
Yeah. It's a service.
Yeah, it's a butler.
It's like a taxi, but more effective.
DoorDash would be your cook, your chef. Technically,
I was gonna say milkman, but yeah, that worked too.
Yeah, I mean because if somebody's preparing the food for you,
I know what you mean.
And then all you doing is sitting down.
Yeah.
And then with a butler, they're picking you up,
mm-hmm.
right? Did I say the butler right? No, they're in the home.
Your
chauffeur.
Chauffeur. Okay.
Yeah, chauffeur. I'm sorry.
And I'm like taxi.
Okay, so no.
Like
so
taxi?
An Uber and a Lyft. Let me restate this. A Uber and Lyft is really a chauffeur.
Right.
Which was once considered an elite service.
Absolutely.
And then your Uber Eats, your DoorDash, that's your chef.
Yeah.
So that was considered a personal service. So they made it available to the masses.
They made the luxury more
capable for everybody else. So, but when I was coming up, I didn't have, if I had my kids after school and school childcare was closed, there's nowhere else for them to go. Where now you can Uber Eats or DoorDash with the kids in the car. I've seen somebody DoorDashing or Uber Eats. They made their kid take it to the stairs and gave their kid the phone that the DoorDash or Uber Eats was on and take a picture that it was delivered. I said, if that was my kid, I would have told them, now if you want to do football or if you want to go on that vacation, this is our vacation money right here. So this is why we doing. Because
it's for real, and I just thought about that. I lived it
because that's our extra money.
But also you gotta think about too, because like even though I smile at that, I don't mean this in a way of like irresponsible. You have to know what area you're driving in as well, guys. Like it's not like okay, I'm gonna take my kid, 4-year-old, 7-year-old, 13-year-old, whatever the kid's age is, right?
But you have to take that 4-year-old, you better take that 4-year-old. You
better go with that person. You have to, what I'm saying.
But I'm saying like your no.
I'm saying as far as goes for like when you're dropping off the food at their door.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
But there are some parents. Let's not.
They're not the most. Listen, people are not the best. People are people. We're individuals.
Because they need the money to provide for their children. They're not making enough money at the career they've selected. Yeah. And they need the money to provide for their children. that goes to something else. Did you leave IHG for the money?
Oh, absolutely. I'm making well above 100K.
Okay, so you did leave for the money.
Absolutely. Because
did
again,
you see the longevity? Did you see the longevity though, that the money would come eventually?
Oh yeah.
Or you didn't see it when
No, I knew it would. But the thing is, you plateau at any job. There's always a horizon point. Only way that you as an individual can go ahead and get a better opportunity is sometimes you do have to uproot yourself and put yourself in another job. Let's say connected. Let's say you transfer over, right? Schools are kind of like that. I would assume, right? If this position at this school isn't working out, I'm gonna go over to this position at this school.
So
no,
that's not how.
Okay, I was asking. That's
so what most people do. So here's you sacrifice money when you work for someone else. You sacrifice money for time. You do.
I know. I'm listening.
So the more up your position, the less time you have for other things, but you're making the more money.
Right.
So as a teacher, I automatically had my weekends, my summers off, spring break, Christmas break, and honestly, I thought my professional development days was a day off too. But that was because I was learning. So right. I like to learn. So it's nothing for me to come to work and learn and sit in a training. It's nothing for me to go to a professional development out of the state with the school. And I'm actually going to the sessions because I want to learn from others. I want to know what you're doing. Maybe I could do something different. One of the things that I do in my business now that I did when you were a student is I still do the schedule. I know the schedule for the whole year. I know every day we're going to be closed. I know, every day we're going to have a professional development day. That's the one calendar that I don't have a personal calendar, but that's the one calendar I have that I still have to this day.
I get that from you now. I know who I get that from. I used to wonder about, because some of you showed me a couple times. You used to like, listen, Josh, you got to go ahead and, stay on this, come on time, like mothering. I would tell you guys, all right, like I was one of her favorite students.
No, that's what all of y'all say. I do not have favorites. I have no favorite student. I've never had a favorite student. They all look like this. They all say this. I promise you, it's a video online right now with another student saying he is my favorite. So what that speaks volumes to is that I made everybody feel like they were important, that they were valuable, that they were special. For all of these people to come on camera when I start filming, no matter who they are, at any stage of their life, and say that they was my favorite kid. I promise you, they was not my favorite student.
Nah, Listen,
all of them gave me problems.
I'm gonna say
all of them.
I'm gonna say this. I might be able to find on my Snapchat an old video of her hugging me and saying, "Josh, I'm proud of you, my favorite student."
It definitely don't say.
I might be able to find that.
I was her favorite student, and it definitely wasn't no hug because I made it a rule. I made it a rule to not touch students. You want to know why? Because I never wanted a student to say that I touched anybody in the program.
And I respect that. My mom was there. This is during like the SCCLA, the competition where she's like,
I don't know if you got to show me that because I made it a personal.
We also
rule.
did like a group family. I mean, again, I was kind of like,
but I always did a virtual.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, like
it was like, always a virtual,
and so I get that from you too, where it's like I keep my distance, keep my hands to myself,
because I don't want anyone to accuse
me.
Working,
you keep play, and you just
but it's
keep
just,
those. I don't know what you mean.
I'm telling you, with kids,
I understand.
You have to be careful. You have to be careful. When I first got that job, I had to go to the bathroom, and this was working for CMSD in general, and a teacher told me, "You went in the kids' bathroom?" I said, "Yeah, I got to pee. Where else I'm supposed to go to the bathroom at?" She said, "Oh, you don't never go in the kids' bathroom. You go in that bathroom, a kid say you touched them, you have to go in the adult bathroom." I didn't know that.
I didn't listen. I would assume that, but with the way that school was built, I don't know where the teachers' bathrooms were.
I don't know where they. Well, you have to get a key to go to the bathroom,
and that's
and if you don't have a key, then you got to get somebody else's key.
I mean, but it's so. But I know what you mean. Like, and that's. Listen, when it came down to that cube, all right, that prison, that place was a little bit different, but
that's all of this. And I started at CMSD as a substitute.
And I remember that, but I was gonna say my last school that I came to before this one was in North Carolina, and it was Havelock High, and I'll never forget the teachers had like their own designated bathrooms. Like there was no like lock system that they had to implement in. Like that's why when I came to the school, and I'm like, what is this room? Oh, that's the classroom we don't use no more. And it's like, what is this room? And it's like, oh, we don't go on this floor no more. And it's like, what?
How you
Like
ever going before?
it was kind of strange because again, like I'd never been to a school where they would just like section that bad boy off. Hey, nobody's allowed to go in this area. It's like, so why not? Like this could be study groups. This could be whatever. Like it could be anything for self development of the kids. We're a business school. Why not open these doors to allow these other yeah. So
So yeah, but I do want to go back to something that I think is, if you don't walk away with anything else, you need to walk away with this.
Yeah.
You need to set up the company. So what I was going through was the steps to set up your company. You do need to register with the state first. You need to think of a name. You need to look up to see if the name is even available with the state. You say the name of the company again for the cheesecake?
It is. It's available. So my sister, she's helped us out with the process. My aunt, my sister, my mother. Those are the really, really big three that I've really.
Okay, so the name is available.
Yeah.
So we know the name is available.
Everything's in process of it.
No, we can't have a process though. We can't have it in process.
Well, you said step by step.
Yeah, but
and I'm still following the step by step.
We gotta move a little bit faster because the first part of this step is fast. No, when I say fast, I really mean is really fast. I say 30 days for the first part, because you're dependent on somebody else, but you could literally get it done in 3 days.
See, my thing was, we worked a little bit backwards. I guess you can say just
you can't work that way.
I know, at the initial start, that's what I was saying. Initially, we worked a little backwards. So we went from not only like the marketing side to seeing how much it will cost the competition, to then seeing what ingredients we're going to use, to actually developing recipes and whatnot.
So let's stop. Okay. I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
Because what you did in essence is the information that would have helped you with your business plan, which is what the next step I was going to tell you. So the first thing that I need for you to do, I literally need you to do this week. I don't care where you're going to get the $99 from. You better put it, if I was you, I'm going to tell you to pull it from this savings. You got 4 different buckets. I don't care what bucket you pull it from. I need you to pull $99 from that bucket, and I need you to register the Cheesecake Company.
Okay.
That's the first thing I need you to do. You can even do that tonight. You got the name, because normally the first step is the name. And you need to come up with a clear name, something. One of my companies is trademark. I sat and I lingered over that name. What was the name I was going to use? Why did I use Glistening July? Because I like to travel. The sun glistens on the water, and July is the month that I was born.
I thought you were kind of like favoring off of summertime travel, but also I didn't think about that. Okay.
So the company is basically everything that I enjoy. I enjoy traveling. I was traveling as a teacher. Like literally, we were So when I tell people I've been traveling for all my life, like I ain't new to this. Like my job was literally traveling with students.
Hospitality and tourism. So with that being said, it's literally just traveling.
We were in hotels.
We went to different states. We did different, let's say food diversity.
We went camping.
Programs.
We went camping every year.
I didn't do the camping part.
You didn't do the camping?
Because I was like, I'm cool on the woods at that time. I was like, I'd rather stay home. I was really good at the camping.
Did we go to San Diego?
We went to San Diego.
Yeah, we went to San Diego.
And I'll never forgive. Hey, listen.
I'm
gonna tell y'all something real quick, all right? And she laughing.
I already know what you're talking about.
But listen,
the soup.
No,
we could have pizza on the balcony.
We went to San Diego. We had the best view out there. Coronado, baby. I never forget. I was saying around. He was like, Josh, stop it. And so
we did.
She's like, I want to go to this 5-star seafood restaurant. It's really nice. And I'm like, why don't we just order pizza and just be right by the beach, because the hotel's right by the beach.
They were right. I'm going to say they were right. They were right.
Now let's Uber. Anybody know how to Uber? And I'm like, God, we don't. It's called taxi. No, the taxi don't take too long. So then, luckily, Hope, I'll never forget. Hope was like, I know how to just give me a phone match. And she like punched it in, because I ain't never do Uber at that age. I was like, hey, listen, I ride my bike and my skateboard everywhere. You know, I was very athletic. And so, yeah, we get to this restaurant. I'm eating the food, and I'm like, it's all right, man. I'm like, my mom, we go to a place like this. I just want to eat pizza.
He's right.
I'm not gonna lie. You know, being a young individual, you have that illusionary existence of possible love, right? So yeah, it was like I want to just go out there and explore and just see what this world provides. But no, I'll never forget. I'm eating this lobster bits, and I'm just like, my tongue get itchy, man. What's going on? And so she's like, if your tongue gets you, stop eating. I'm like, but it's kind of good. And I'm like, but I'm like, hold up, no, that's going crazy. So I started using the fork to scratch my tongue. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, oh my god. So like, she's like, here's take it. So I'm like, am I allergic to this allergic reaction? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. So like, we got waitresses and waiters coming over and like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know, man.
He the only one having an allergic reaction in this 5-star restaurant.
I was like, I just want to just leave. Like, I don't even want to pack myself up.
And
man.
we should have just went to go get pizza.
And so then it was an hour and a half.
And we all had, yes, because there was no
Ubers. It was traffic.
It
was traffic out the wazoo. I mean, we talking about traffic. If anybody don't understand, in most of those areas where it's really beautiful for the 4th of July, it's going to be a lot of traffic because people like to stop, like to pull off to the side. They'll literally block certain spaces. And so, again, me being young, I was like, you know what, whatever. I just chalked it up as an L. I think I fell asleep inside the Uber or whatever it was we ordered.
We got stuck. No, we had to walk. Remember, we had to walk.
Oh yeah, we did. We walked a certain.
We walked a certain distance to get away from the traffic.
Yeah,
and then I think we caught an Uber out of the traffic.
Because I was like,
that was the worst travel experience.
All the way up this way, which was like, I think it was a 25-minute walk. Mind you, we seen the fireworks, and I'm just like, it's like the walk.
But we would have had a better view because it was all right there. Had right balcony there. Rooms.
Well, it wasn't just that, but it was everything.
You don't remember that lady who walked up to me and was like, "You got a balcony room?"
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I've been coming for 3 years, and this is my first year. On my 4th year that I can get a balcony." How you get one the first time? Look, lady, I don't know. And the weather was nice. It was so nice we could sleep. I slept with the door open.
That is, it's getting some flashbacks, man.
I have gone to San Diego. I try to make it a point to go like every year, and then I stopped. And I'm going back again this year. And I don't know where I'm staying at. I want to stay in Tijuana, Mexico, because
why not go back to Coronado?
Well,
you know the manager. He's still
actually I went to Coronado and I didn't have a good experience. I took my kids during COVID and we didn't have a good experience. And I recently looked at their reviews online and they're not good. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not going back.
I understand.
They put us in the attic.
In the top part, the little top.
They put black people in the attic. That's what I told them too. I said, not only did you put me in the attic, but I'm black. And you put me, and this was during Black Lives Matter. So you know that took me really far because I was like, this is the attic. We went upstairs that looked like this is where they used to. Yeah. So that wasn't a good experience for me.
That's wild.
So that's why I don't want to go back. And they did build new hotel rooms.
They were in the process of it. I remember that, but
I do
because I remember walking.
So then they built it. So then they
behind the one little part that was like this.
So then they built another one since then.
And it's probably off to
and all of them
are nice.
They're nice, but the ratings are low.
Really?
They're 3.6 ratings, and this is supposed to be a 5-star.
I would have to look that up to see what's going on. I mean, again, a lot of the
it's the service.
Hotels, it's a service. It's also
I'm telling you what the issue is.
Well, no, I'm saying from hotel experience in general. Like I've done everything as far as those. Even though I primarily worked in the front office and I became a front office assistant manager, at that job, the reason why I kind of like stepped up and they gave me that nomination was because I went into housekeeping and learned about that. I went into like the actual like PDA or let's say like the call service. It's called PDX, but PBX. I'm sorry to be exact. And then accounting. I learned about that. Learned about a little bit of marketing, a little bit of IT, a little bit. I mean, I already knew about cooking. My mother's a chef, and so it's like a lot of that stuff I had went into and just learned everything. And so if anybody had a question, they knew they could turn to me. So I know exactly what you're saying. A lot of it comes down to the service. People are not willing to actually smile. I literally just said that I had a bad experience with I would say an auto body company recently with my vehicle, which is like, hey, I just bought like $1,000 pair of tires for my car, and you guys tell me that you can't fix my tire sensors. That makes no sense. And not only that is I walk in there and there's no smiles. There's no sense of character. There's no sense of willingness to help. Oh yeah, how can I help you? Like it's blasé. You have to understand that when you talk to people that they feel emotion. And that if you give that same respect and that level of emotion, you can mirror somebody. You don't have to be disrespectful, but you can also just go ahead and be uplifting to them, because that's all that somebody needs. That's all that anybody needs for the most part. If you want to talk to somebody and you want them to be more open with you and understand you better, you got to talk to them. And don't just say any rhetoric. You have to say something that's going to mean something to them. Offer something as far as it goes, like even just a smile. Simple. But back to that, yeah, I know what you mean with the service wise. Yeah. It's not the same.
So I ended up staying at the Carte.
I don't know what that is.
It's part of their curio collection.
Why didn't you go back to the other hotel? Was that the Marriott we stayed at?
Because I had gotten a free stay from the Hilton because I had a bad experience at Coronado.
Hold up. So you double dipped and then had a bad experience here, and then you said, I'm going to take my card and put it in this chip dip, and then you had a bad experience over there too?
Oh, no. Carte was nice.
No, I'm saying, like you said, you had a bad experience at the Hilton?
At Coronado, which is owned by the Hilton.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I had a bad experience at the Hilton, and so I went to Coronado.
No.
I'm like,
I had a bad experience at Coronado.
Okay.
And because I had that bad experience, they gave me a free stay. And because I like San Diego so much, that's actually one of my favorite cities in America for weather. My favorite city is
respect that.
My favorite city is DC, but they gave me a free stay at the Hilton, and so I used that to go back to San Diego and stayed at the Carte. I think that's I don't know, but that hotel was very nice, and so I'm thinking about when I go back again, staying there. But I got a really great rate at Tijuana, at the Hampton Inn, and then my kids can eat for free.
I'll never forget, guys. Miss Massey knew that I worked at the Intercontinental. And me being the absolutely great student, one of her favorite students, right? I was like, hey, Miss Massey, I can offer, a hotel room for you. Just let me know if you ever want to travel. She said, oh, really, Josh? Oh,
no.
You don't have to tell me twice. I'll go ahead. Hey, so I'm going to go down. Where was it? Where'd you went to?
Wait. Let's tell the real story. You like, oh... You're my favorite teacher.
No, and you said, oh, Josh, you're my favorite student.
No, I did not say that. You said, you my favorite teacher. I'm going to take you out for a steak dinner.
I did say that.
Okay, thank you.
I did say that.
That's
but
what
then
you
at the same
said.
time,
And
you
I
said, well, how about this?
I said, I do not eat steak, but how about you use your discount?
Because you my favorite student.
Because you said I'm your favorite teacher and you want to take me to get steak. And I asked you to book me a room at the Intercontinental Hotel.
Where was it at, though? I don't remember.
It was in I was in
Puerto Rico?
No, I was in Honduras.
Honduras, that's what it was.
Was it San Pedro Sula?
Yeah, it was with a Pedro. So yeah,
San Pedro Sula. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I know it was a P. I'm like, was it?
It's San Pedro Sula. So he was shocked. He thought I was gonna be talking about, can you give me a hotel room?
It was
in Las Vegas at the Hilton.
Listen, that is expensive. I did it for my mom, and I used up probably 600,000 points. Now, if you guys,
for real?
Yeah, it was for them. I don't care. It kind of sucked.
600,000 points for the Hilton in Las Vegas?
It was the Intercontinental. It was the.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, the Intercontinental. We talking about the Intercontinental.
Not the Bellagio. What was it? It was one of the top like best ones. Like it was like.
But all of the hotels down there are.
I know. I'm just. Well,
it's hard to really make a choice in Vegas.
To kind of give you a insider, it was dope. So the person that, and I ain't gonna say the name now because now I'm saying this, but I just remember what it was. But no. The person's son came to Cleveland to work at IHG, and then he ended up excelling in managerial point.
And
moved up, and then he went back. But regardless of that, his father is one of the managers. He was one of the top dudes there, like GMs.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk because no. I'm scheduled to go to Vegas in October.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, I'm scheduled to go to Vegas in October, and I'm staying at one brand.
Oh yeah, I'll reach out
I've stayed at the brand before, and do not comment if this is the brand. But I have my hotel reserved for Caesars, and I've stayed there. And the guy happened to be at the front desk. He was from Cleveland, and we were talking. He's like, "I'm gonna upgrade your room." He upgraded me to a penthouse suite, which they have several of those at Caesars. So you have a dining room, a couch area, right? Is that a penthouse?
Like a study area, yeah.
I'm asking you because I know you have more experience. And then your bedroom.
It's like a studio suite. So they pretty much they put you.
It's not a studio.
So it's not a studio.
Because studio was wide open. This is literally a bedroom with a door, and then your bathroom is off of the bedroom.
So that's like one of those. They have different names for it. Yeah,
yes, they do.
Because it's like
but that was the first time I ever been in a penthouse.
No, yeah.
I ain't gonna even lie.
Usually,
because then I was a teacher for real, and I wasn't making that much money. And so for him, no. Yeah, I was not making that much money.
Hey, at that 30, 40, 50, you're like, hey,
I don't even know. I wouldn't
you'd be
say
surprised at how much those
I
cost.
wouldn't say that I was making 30 or 40, 50. I guess after I put everything, because when I worked for an employer, I had a lot of money in other accounts. So when I say that, I mean, I had my pension, I had money in a dependent care spending account, because I feel like I ain't never been without kids. I had my money in a health care spending account. So that means, was it a health care? Yeah, it was a health care spending account. So then my money was going so I could buy my glasses, because that's one of the things I always buy. I do not use the insurance. I use insurance to fill the lenses.
That's literally what I've been just doing with this now. Because I just got Echo Frame or, saying glasses where I can like talk and stuff like that.
Okay. So I use the health care spending account to buy my glasses, and I use the dependent care spending account to pay for childcare, because my money that I use for it's tax free if you get it directly, if you take the $5,000 out of your paycheck. So now you're only taxed per the government. Let's say you make $50,000, you're only taxed on $45,000.
Oh wow.
So like if you're not doing that at your current job, I would. But I know you don't use childcare services. But when you ever get down that,
we're actively in the process of looking. That's what my mother had recommended. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm like I can definitely do that.
So I would definitely put that money when open enrollment comes open. I would put that money over $5,000, because they don't only allow you $5,000 for single.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an IRA.
But I'm like, it's not an IRA, because it has to be used within a year.
That's the limitation.
And they allow you to use it up until March of the next year. But you got to use it. If you don't use that $5,000. So it's like a
rollover system, but it only goes to a certain point within that year.
But you got to use all the money or you lose the money. But the issue is instead of saving 30% on the back end when you file taxes, I want to say it's 30%. You save, it's tax free on the front end.
We're going to talk about that because I like.
Well, we can talk about now because it's a benefit that most companies offer.
So all right, so then again, run it by me again.
So if I make if I make $50,000,
okay,
I can put $5,000 in a dependent care spending account.
Okay.
I am only taxed per the U.S. government on $45,000.
Okay.
That's period. That's before you do anything else.
Right. So you said 45, right?
So that means that we're not talking about that you have health insurance. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about that you have money that goes into your 401k mm-hmm. or your 403b. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about any of that. We're mm-hmm. just talking about your straight salary. This company said they're going to pay you $50,000 and they offer a dependent care spending account. You take that $5,000 and it goes in the dependent care spending account. Automatically. Yep. So every paycheck. Whoa. So if you get paid.
Told y'all got a question.
If you get paid every other week, which is 24, sometimes 20 between 24 to 26 pays a year. Because sometimes you get paid twice in 1 month. It's a certain amount out of that 5,000. You take 5,000, you divide it by how many weeks you get paid. If you get paid once a month, you take 5,000, you divide it by 12. That's how much money they're going to take and put in that account each month. And sometimes they put the money in there automatically. So when you start the year off, the money automatically goes over into that account. So on your last paycheck, they would just take that money from your account because it's already in the independent care spending account. But
that's dope. Oh my God.
But most people don't listen to when HR is presenting to them and going over benefits. They glaze over that part. So that $5,000 is tax free.
That makes me want to cry, because that's like a beautiful realization. I mean, again, even just hearing it, but now I'm about to do it. No, yeah, that's a game changer. That takes.
And some companies even give you. So this is a story that I'll tell, and I recently been telling it a lot. I was on public assistance. and I was working for City at the time. I know I was only making $21,000 a year, but unfortunately, that was too much money for me to continue on public assistance. So this is
Right.
me by myself. I was getting Section 8. I was getting food stamps, but I made too much money for childcare. My worker told me, she said, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'll do it. I'll push this out 30 days. After 30 days, you have to come up with the money to pay for it, your child care.
Wow.
So luckily at the time, Citibank had dependent care spending account, and they would give you a certain amount of money. I'm gonna say, for the sake of this story, because I can't remember the amount, that it was $900 if I did the dependent care spending account the whole year. So that means that I took my money. I took $5,000 of my money. So that meant that if I was making 21, I was only be making $16,000 a year, which is nothing in America. Even though like I said, I was on Section 8 with a kid, and then I had one on the way.
No, you said 900 for the year, but let's say you basically said 21 and you said 5,000.
So I got $5,900 in this account.
It threw me off.
But 900 gave me that $900, and I asked a lot of very detailed questions. When would the $900 come?
You get that early into use.
Yes, Citibank gave me the $900 beforehand.
So pretty much it's almost like a loan of your own personal
No,
salary.
that was the money that Citibank chose to invest in its employees.
Oh,
so that $900.
So they will basically, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying.
So if I open
so not only is it that basically going to be for like spending for like your kid to go to daycare.
So me to come.
This is also to go ahead and get started as like, hey, this.
Yes, for me to be able to come to work.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
But remember, that's a finance company,
right,
so they deal with money. So I don't know where they got it from, but that was a
Yeah.
benefit that they told us during open enrollment that was available. A lot of people sit through open enrollment.
I know
meetings,
your ears was like.
And they go to sleep. No, but I'm just saying, being able to purchase stock in company, being able to have certain benefits tax free. My ears. So I used to do my taxes when I was 16. I filed my own 1040. My mom never filed my 1040. I've always worked. I'm definitely not supposed to do this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to delete this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I am going to delete this, though.
All right.
But I'm not going to say this. Because I don't know whoever edits this has the ability to then give it to someone else. But I've always worked. I've never not worked. And I've come from a working home. And I used to file my own taxes. Because taxes is just, if you don't have nothing, it's multiplication, subtraction, and addition.
Yeah.
Sometimes you use division. That's it. If you don't have
taxes,
no 401k, no 403b, you don't have no SEP IRA or no IRA or 1099
or no loans too, because a lot of people don't understand that loans will also that follows so that falls.
If you don't have no 1098s and you don't have a dependent care spending account and a health care spending account, it ain't nothing you need. You can file your own taxes and earn income tax. If you got kids and you don't got no money, you don't need to go to H&R Block. But if you didn't pay us attention in math class and you can't follow directions, yes, you need somebody to file your taxes. I'm telling you the truth. And they got the book to walk you through your 1040. So I'm confused. So I've been filing my taxes since I was 16. And yes, I wasn't dependent on my mom's taxes at the time, but I've been filing my taxes for that long.
Right.
So I understood my goal has always been to get a tax return. It's never to owe the government anything because I just saw that as a huge liability. Like, here I am working. I don't have the money to just pay you $10,000 because I didn't take a deduction outright when I signed up for the job. That's just how I always thought.
Legit.
Like, because the government, like that man said, one person I don't want to meet in that movie is Uncle Sam. I don't want Uncle Sam knocking at my door.
What movie is this?
I think it was like Set It Off. But I think he like Uncle Sam in the IRS. I don't want them at my door because I know for a fact, because my cousin is the person who sits in your house, in your office, when they come to audit you.
Oh, really?
Yes, she is now. And so I don't.
That's crazy.
Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy.
I got her
sitting across from you, just looking at you. Nah, Miss Mass.
No,
She ain't
but
gonna say that. She gonna say
is that my phone? Did it start?
that's my glasses.
Oh,
Every time
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, I know I had enough storage, but the $5,000 savings, going back to the story, that saves me money. That saves me. I'm not taxed on 5,000. So basically, I'm working this job, and you're giving me $5,000. You'll never tax me on. The government can never tax me on. Healthcare spending account. You can use $5,000 for that too. So if I'm making 50,000, I put 5,000 in healthcare spending account, and I put 5,000 in dependent care spending account. Now I'm only taxed at $40,000. What is that $5,000 in the healthcare spending account used for? It's used for your copays. It's used for your medicines. It's used to purchase eyeglasses. It's used for a lot of different things. And they have a list of the items that it can be used for. As more and more people have used these services with companies, they've gotten more strict. But when I first started doing this in 2004, I didn't know the things that you could purchase until somebody told me the things that you couldn't purchase. Somebody purchased a TV. That's how they do their exercise. That's what they said. That's why they needed the TV, so that they could exercise.
Okay, okay.
I would never purchase a TV. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying it was goofy. I was trying to say
no,
word,
but it was a legitimate. They allowed it. They allowed the expense.
I get that, but that's not
because when a doctor says that it's a necessity for your life, you need to exercise. I get that, which is the truth.
I get that, but I'm just saying.
So basically, if we put a TV up in here, and I offered a healthcare spending account, and our doctor said that
I'm thinking of like a parent wise, because I was thinking of like the healthcare spending account for the kid wise, not as in like healthcare spending account for the person wise.
It's for your whole family.
I get that. Mentally.
If your kid has to go to, because annual physicals are free now, so there's no copays. But if your kid has to go to the doctor because they have a rash, they have to go to the ER.
Yeah.
That ER visit is not cheap anymore. When I left. When I left teaching, I was paying $150 at my previous employer. The employer after that, I think it was $350.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I didn't mind paying that because my health when it comes to I'm sick and I'm about to be down. Yes, I go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I feel like I struggle with longevity. Like, don't eat that because that's gonna put 20 pounds on you. You keep eating that every day.
Yeah, I literally have came to that point now. So again, as I said before, 30 days, no social media, no gaming. Now it's 90 days of straight in the gym, 90 days of eating healthy, like just really health benefit wise, like actually doing that stuff. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
But that healthcare, so your glasses, all of that can go over there. And then they give you rules and regulations on what the dependent care spending can be used for. It's for child care services. It's for summer camp. It's for... a portion of it can be used for someone who cares for your children who's not a child care center. But this goes back to why I recommend anybody that has a business, have a legitimate business. Because there are certain codes that they use when you say you're a child care center that is recognized in the background. So when you swipe your dependent care spending account card or flexible spending account dollars, they know this is a legitimate expense. Oh, wow. So when I go to Walgreens and I swipe my FSA card because I have healthcare spending account money over there, they know because their credit card system was set up that we're a pharmacy. This is the pharmacy department. This is medication. This is covered.
Right.
This is toilet tissue. This ain't covered. This is a bag of chips at Walgreens. This ain't covered.
I can't. I'm sorry. And I'll be focusing in, which was massive. But you hit me with them head nods, and you've been doing since we was.
Because it's the truth. It's the truth.
Like you're supposed to know this stuff. Like, and it's like that's
no. That's not what I mean.
No, but it comes off of like, hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this, and I want you to know this because people don't know this stuff. Like, yo, like it's like Snoop Dogg when you talking to somebody. But yeah, you just gotta.
But they really don't know it. So
they don't know it.
So look at someone making $21,000 a year, and here I am already with the dependent care spending account.
Yeah.
Here I am. Yes, I do have a business degree, but I also have a kid, and I understand I can't go work at Fifth Third Bank like everybody else from my school.
Right.
Because I have children. I can't be at work all day and all night.
Right.
I have to get off of work at a certain time and be at home because I don't have anybody else to care for my children. At the time, I had even asked my friends who didn't have any children if they could pick my kid up because in order for me to make extra money, they,
Lie about that.
I had to work this evening shift. Right. And I had to work it was a flex schedule. And I had to do so many hours in the evening and so many hours on the weekend. And I was,
wow.
And it came to where, I was always working on the weekend because I didn't want to take the schedule during the week because I didn't have the child care.
You had to go ahead and have somebody watch your kids. I get it.
And that's why I used to tell y'all, don't have kids, unless you are in a you're married. There's a different commitment when you're married and you have children. And I don't know I don't want to talk about that because this is not a relationship.
No, I'm happy to say, yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't want to talk about that.
No, that's fine, yeah.
But I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I don't want to talk about that. But I know from a perspective is that it was hard for me, and so going back to what we were talking about is the first step is coming up with the name.
Right.
Take some time. Think about that name. What is the name going to be? Write the name down, right? You come up with 3 examples of the name. Look up in the state that you're in to see if that name is taken. If you know your name is like the hottest thing since sliced bread, I would even look on the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office website to see, can you trademark this name? After you get the name, file with the state. That's when I mentioned to you, go with the attorney first. Don't file it on your own, but go with the attorney, spend the money, invest in that attorney so you get the paperwork and it's done right.
Yeah.
And so then when you repeat this method, you already have what you need to set up. After you get the name, they send you back your articles of incorporation. Go with, you need to go to the IRS immediately and get your EIN. Yes, you can get an EIN without registering with the state, but the two go hand in hand. Because you can get an EIN and your name not available. Now you got to change the name of what you've been doing business as.
Mm-hmm.
And you still consider a sole proprietor. I recommend an LLC. A LLC does funnel through, a limited liability corporation or a limited liability company. Mm-hmm. It does funnel through your personal 1040.
Instead of being sole proprietor, I got it. I understand. I got you.
And then with you and your significant other, this would be a partnership. It's not a single member LLC. And once you hit a certain amount, and some people say 40,000, but when you hit a profit, when you hit a certain amount, you do need to be a S corporation. You need to have that. C Corp. C Corp is when you're larger. I made that mistake too.
And that's something I was going to say, because I know for a fact that, again, that's something that a lot of people will say. If you like little shorts of YouTube, whatever. When I did my research, looking into it, before I started to listen to my aunt, and listen to my mom, and listen to my sister, I thought it was as simple as like, okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and just get this done, do that, become a C Corp. Because again, I'm thinking of a kid. That's how kids think of things. It's going to be short and fast. But as an adult, there's so many different steps and there's risks.
But involved. You never want to be a C corporation unless you have a certain amount of employees.
Absolutely.
I don't know the number of employees, but it's a simple. It's only S corporation is only an IRS designation, and even though you're an S corporation, that still funnels through your 1040, but it is its own entity.
Now, real quick, I don't know if you have 60 employees and under. I forget what that's called. It's like a certain kind of business where it's like it's not determined by the number of people that you have. It's more like what you value ethnically or nationally.
I don't know nothing about that.
I don't know. I'll show you. But it's something where it's...
But the only entities that's legally recognized is a corporation, which is considered a C corporation, and an LLC. The S corporation is a IRS designation for either an LLC or a corporation. But you need to figure out if you've made, and I don't want you to tell me now because that's none of my business, but if your business has made over 40K, the Cheesecake Company, you need to get an S corporation. You need to be incorporated. Okay. Either if you choose LLC or S or corporation, because again, S corporation is a legal is an IRS designation. Yeah. It's still $99. It's not like I'm a corporation, they're gonna charge me $200. I'm an LLC, it's gonna be it's both of them is $99. And after you do get the name, the articles of incorporation from the state. Then the IRS, that takes 15 minutes to do. But if you go through an attorney, they'll do all of that for you. They'll even give you your legal documents that you need, either having an LLC or a corporation. Once you do that, you need to, so some of this is kind of simultaneously, and that's just like the preliminary. But after you get the name, you really need to get a business address. And you can rent these. I do like a certain company, but you can pick your own company. It needs to be a physical building location where you can get mail delivered. So for example, I use this address right now where we at because it's a physical location. Because I had an issue when I used the P.O. box, and I didn't like that issue and the problems I was having. So I had to go back to the state and do an amendment to my LLC to change the address, and then I stopped having that issue. So you need to have a physical address. You need to pay for that. You can get it as low as, I think, $9.99 a month, because when you really file that LLC with the state, that's the address you want to use, because that address is going to follow you. And that was the issue I had. Because you can't use P.O. boxes when you're going to look at business credit. You need to be in a brick and mortar building.
So in other words, they want you to have a spot where it's like you paying versus like just have a
But
box.
a virtual address will get you that look of official, because all they do is look at the outside of the building from
Instead
Google.
Just the box. That's what I'm saying. Instead just a box. You're looking at the location versus a box.
So if you use like UPS boxes, the company what's the company that delivered the UPS?
UPS?
Yes,
okay,
UPS.
I'm like UPS boxes. I'm like,
they have a company where they have like mail service that you can get your mail delivered there, but they know that that's UPS, so that doesn't count. You need a company on this. I think it's called virtual addresses, where they actually, and it's $9.99. They give you a physical location. It looked like an office building on the outside, so you may be a room with all these mailboxes inside of there. Let's say you suite number 303. So you are, let's say 1234 any street, number 303, Cleveland, Ohio 44103. Okay.
I like that idea. Okay.
Okay, so then you get that. So you get that because that address you're going to use with the state. So when I say it's like a lot of different steps, that's the real true way you do it. So you come up with the name. You know the name. You know the name is available through the state. You get an address. You pay for that address. You get an email address. Some people recommend you pay for your URL and your email address. A Google address will do for the state. So you use that name, the first name and cheesecake at gmail.com. You put that on your documents when you file for the state.
Right.
So the information will come to you.
Right.
So now you got a legal business address, you got a legal name, you got an EIN, so all your EIN paperwork goes to your business address.
Right.
Your articles of incorporation are registered with the state for your business address.
So all you gotta do is just go there.
So now, after you've gotten the EIN and used this business address, and you and all your documents are coming to the email for this business, now you go in and you get the URL, and you can get a professional business address. So if it's the cheesecake, it's the whatever the first name is, the cheesecake.com, you could put it at Maria, at Chris, but give it something. And I got this from the gentleman that I did my first interview with. You want to put it on a name that's not yours, because you know everybody who replies to this email is about this topic.
Right.
So if you say at, let's say it's Chris at the first name of the cheesecake.com, right?
Right.
You know all of this is business stuff. So you got to check this email.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. That's smart. That's smart. That's
because then once you're registered with the state and you've thought about your business structure, which we've already said, we thought about the business structure. We have the name, we have the email address. For me, we have the physical address. Now the last step, really and truly, is getting your DUNS number. Oh, I forgot. This is the most important too. This is important too. You need a bank account. Because if you show that you're using personal funds to pay for the business instead of giving the business a loan, and putting it in a business account and running all those transactions through, then you are showing that this is a legitimate business. This is separate from me as a person. So
let me ask you this: what if, let's say, for instance, like I said before, with some of the parts, let's say you're already in the process of getting that done, right? Can you change the business address anyway and just replace it?
You do, but they charge you. Anything you change is a $25 charge with our state.
Okay. I'm thinking.
But if you I want you to think about this, and this is not me putting you down or anyone else down. But if you're struggling to pay the $99 to legitimize your business, you're going to struggle to pay the $25 to change the name. I'm telling you this from this person, from somebody who told you. I went through an issue and I couldn't figure out what the issue was until I paid the $25 and changed the address, and I ain't had no more issues.
But that's what I'm saying. In my head, that's a lot more easy and streamlined compared to just let's put like that. That's way.
So what I went over with you.
No, in general. I mean, this.
And so in my book, I break it down that simple. Because I've done it so many times, it's just commonplace for me. Again, my first company I formed was in 2004. My EIN number is now 21 years old.
Wow.
So when you look at people who form companies, I have two. So the business that we're in right now, and then the first one I formed in 2004, all of those are in good standing with the state. I'm not in bad standing with any of my businesses. So even if you don't, let's say you were twiddling with this idea, right? You formed a company, you listen to me tonight, you go home and you really sit down and you say, okay, I am going to pull this $99 out of my savings and I'm going to do this. You can then hold on to that EIN and that name indefinitely. Let's say you don't really start the Cheesecake Company until 10 years down the line. Don't nobody know that you ain't had no brick and mortar building and that you only been paying $10 a month from a business perspective. All they know is your EIN is 10 years old.
You're right.
If you've been around in business, if you've been in business for 10 years, you got to know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So in every aspect of your life needs to be a business. Even people who come on here and they have podcasts, they have YouTube channels, they have their content creators or influencers. You need to have a business.
Yeah.
You should have thought about your business, even if you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
And so then that's my next thing. What I'm going to say to you is, once you have the business, that plan is your roadmap. The word of God says, write the vision and make it plain that you may run with it. I didn't realize, this is like 15 years. I didn't realize how important that business plan is. But that business plan is the lifeblood. So all that information you used, the marketing, how much your ingredients cost, who's your target market, the executive summary, your financials.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in business, you can know if you're doing well or not. My business I'm in right now, my projections were spot on because I took the time. I talked to people who were in business, who were used to reading financials, and I asked them, what do you think? Can you help me? One person said, you didn't put the cost of living adjustment in for every year. I said, so what's that? And they told me the percentage average. So my projections are actually on target. I have a cost of living adjustment for each year after my first year. When people ask me for my financials and my projections, when I go to ask for loans to help fund my business, it takes me no time. I can give them that information in 15 minutes because my accounting system is set up. I have my business plan, and I recently learned how to not print a document and change it into a PDF and tell it I only need pages 5 through 7. I didn't know how to do. I'm telling you the truth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, hey. I didn't know. I was printing off the whole document and then taking it to the county library and printing it and scanning it into a PDF for free.
That is one way. Yeah, that's one way to do it.
No, but I am proof. I built a whole business.
So I would say more or less like this. You're more hands on, and this is gonna sound crazy, but old fashioned, and there's nothing wrong with that. So all those out there again, for anybody that's into AI and whatnot, and you think that just because you use the app, that you're an AI specialist. All right. Specifically, I'm taking courses on that. I don't think nobody's ready for that. It's a lot to take in, and what she's doing alone, yeah, it could do that, but it's more of a better learning process. It's more hands on. It's something that will stay with you
Because I
for
can
life.
teach that to others.
And
That's
that's
the
something.
part.
Yeah, like you can't beat that. Versus, let's say you go on your phone, you type it in, you ask it a question, or you sit up, you upload a document, and it gives you an answer. It's a whole different vibe. And I would say for you, you went through the full process that I've only gone to halfway, and then I'm still like learning throughout this process, like just different ideas alone. But
But
again,
the
I've said
ideas,
that before.
I want to tell you
Yeah.
this. The ideas will always come.
Oh yeah, yeah. You never stop learning.
The ideas will always come. The ideas will always come. But what I will tell you is the way our society is going, we're getting bigger. Look at me.
Yeah.
We're not getting skinnier. And food is going to sell.
Well, it's also a surge too.
Well, but yes, it is. Food costs are surging, but that's a business that will always bring you money.
Absolutely.
And when you start a business, you want a business to start that's gonna bring you money instantly.
Absolutely.
You can go to some hair salons and sell them cheesecakes and make some money every weekend.
Believe me, when it came down to, so let me just be quite honest here. I've had offers. I've had potential life-changing offers, and unfortunately, due to the me not want to take that first step, that was what it was. I didn't want to take that first step because I knew it would cost. I would have to actually either give that 100,000% in, and I was also scared. I was young, so now that I've came to a certain point now, that as an adult, as a parent, I know for a fact as I've educated myself, all right, I'm ready for this. And like you're saying, that again, the same conversation we're having is the same conversation my mom literally just drilled me. I mean, like, you know how my mom is. Like,
I do not recommend anybody. I don't recommend.
She was upset.
Yeah, I don't recommend anybody start any business without like legally setting up the business because it's just a spiral effect.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going on.
Because it's a lot. It's not only is it money that you're just putting out there, but you're not reaping the benefits from it. You're not fully capitaling off of what you could have. Like what she's saying. Like, I mean, again, it's just the bottom line.
And there's services out there that can help everybody. The Small Business Administration, the U.S. Small Business Administration is helpful.
They got a couple different like apps as well that are like more. It's just you just got.
But the reason why I recommended the Small Business Administration is because it's already money that you've paid.
Yeah,
when you pay taxes, it's money that you've already paid into the government to help you. And small businesses is what funds our economy because we employ people.
Yeah, she's not lying.
We employ people. Small businesses, we are the ones who employ people, and people are able to pay their rent. They're able to buy groceries. They're able to go on vacation when they want to go on vacation. And I can't tell people don't go on vacation because that's not a priority to their life.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
I go on vacation at every income level because that's always been a priority in my life.
Just tell me this hands down. Like, if you don't see the world will never come see you, right? And again, like with that, it changed your perspective of how you want to go about spending money. How do you value your culture? How do you value you as an individual? It changes your perception of the world because a lot of people get so stuck in the American way, or just say within whatever country you're from and you may be viewing this from, but you get stuck in that culture. And so when you step out of that comfort zone, you have to adjust. You have to learn the levels of laws and economics and just resources. And I mean, you have to survival tactics, but you have to adjust and then incorporate that into yourself. It changes you and develops you to a better person, depending on if you're like a business-oriented person like yourself. Some just go for the fun. But, no, I know exactly what you mean.
And the reason why it took me so long to do these podcasts is because I was more focused on being a parent and showing up for my children than I was making money.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is because my parents worked. When I say worked, I mean work. We weren't poor in my house.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And I only became poor because of choices I made. But mentally, I was never poor.
Well, it was a lifestyle That's what it is. It was just a.
But I made a choice
yeah,
that
yeah.
affected my finances quicker than any other choice I could have made. I grew up seeing my parents work. So I'm not lazy.
Yeah.